I mean, I just finally feel like we're really getting into Maul's character a little bit and his experience post Order 66 and post seeing the plan of Palpatine kind of devolve. So yeah, I mean, great episodes. I think it's given what some fans wanted since episode one. And you know what? Here's my thing. You know, I grew up on Clone Wars. I grew up with the Maul and Savage action figure. Like if you wanted the Maul action figure, it came with like a Savage one, or if you want like a Savage action figure, it came with the Darth Maul one. So they kind of go together like peanut butter and jelly, right? So it after years of being kind of blue balled, it finally feels like Savage has been given some type of acknowledgement. It's always been like, oh, my brother, yeah, I miss my brother, and or my brother this and that, and you know when he was mentioned in Rebels or whatnot. But it's nice to get some confirmation about Savage and just seeing how Maul still kind of remembers him, because Maul's this kind of like animal. Maul doesn't care about anyone or anything, but I really think like that brother connection is a weak spot for him. So and it's an integral part of his character now. I mean, you saw when one of his henchmen got stabbed, and then it just kind of paralleled the way he's, you know, the way he experienced Savage get impaled by Palpatine, and I loved all those flashbacks. So it was a really deep episode, and I love that it was just firing out all cylinders this week. Yeah, I mean it was cool. It was great. All the pieces are moving, and so are we. So it was quite the event this week.
Yeah, absolutely. And you touched on it already, just the Maul sort of journey that we go on in these two episodes. So let's start off with that, because it was seriously compelling stuff. And it really had me thinking Maul is really like just turning into a legendary Star Wars character. Like his journey from Phantom Menace, where, you know, back then it was just, oh, the cool guy with the double bladed lightsaber, and then all the way to getting resurrected in Clone Wars, then finishing his journey in Rebels. Then we see him in Solo while Rebels was airing. Then we go back to season 7, and he's like the focus of that Clone Wars story. And now he gets his own show. I mean, what a journey we've been on. And it's not like as if it's a character that we're getting like overfed. Like I'm like still hungry for more. I'm still loving this. And this was one of my favorite Maul stories, renditions of the character that we've seen, especially at the start of episode 8. That was really fantastic. Obviously, at the end of 7, you know, they're sort of on the run. One of his Dathomirian brothers goes down, and man, like I think that everyone in the audience really felt that blow. Like they felt that the way you could see Maul did. So you know, it's sort of really unraveling Maul like an onion. You know, just getting through every layer, and because he's a very complicated person, which we find out. It doesn't mean he's not a horrible person and does horrible things. There's no doubt about that. But there's a reason for that. It's not all black and white. It's not always good and evil. Don't get me wrong. Maul is evil, but we sort of learn it's you know, that cliche, evil. You're not born with evil. It's taught. So we see that very clearly here, and he has that really cool fight with the Inquisitors, manages to get away, and then we start episode 8, and man, this was really, really compelling. I loved. He sort of looks, when he's looking in the water, and he sees his reflection, and you just see like the way he says like, I hate you, to his younger self. And then we get all the flashbacks, and man, it really had me questioning, like deep down, and at the deepest part of Darth Maul's core, I think there is like a genuinely like nice, innocent person there. But because of, and I'd be curious what people have to say about that. I don't want to get your thoughts after I finish my tangent here, but like, is Maul deep down, is Maul a good person? Because we see he didn't want to leave Savage as a kid, and you know, he goes through all this torture and all this stuff, and the shot of him looking back at himself and his younger version of himself is crying, and then the older version of himself is like comforting that younger version, saying, it's okay, I'm not going to let anyone do this to Palpatine again, which is a great thing to say. Like, that's, yes, absolutely, go Darth Maul. We don't want Palpatine doing this to anyone ever again. But how's Maul going to, Maul's doing it for revenge. He wants vengeance. He's going to go, and he doesn't care if anyone stands in the way of that mission. He'll do horrible things to get to that point, which is why he ultimately is constantly rejects the light and delves into the dark side. So Yeah, and then it made me think about his final moments in Rebels, where he's being held by Obi-Wan, and then I think in that final moment of his life, you sort of realize he asks Obi-Wan, is he the chosen one, or something in that regard, and Obi-Wan obviously says he is. Will he bring peace? And it's like, mate, that shows to me this is what Maul deep down, that's what Maul truly cared about. He just wanted Palpatine gone. Yes, he's a horrible person, but I love that we're just going into the complex nature of his character. So I've just thrown a lot at you there, but I want you to answer the question. Deep down in Darth Maul's soul, is there some semblance of a good person there? What are your thoughts?
I think there is, which might be controversial to say, but I think there is. I think he just has a twisted version of what is good. Obviously, like, I feel like he gets on the right track, but it's just like, oh man, we're on the completely opposite track. Like, I feel like he just starts down the right path and then ends up getting so skewed with his vision because he goes about it the wrong ways. And it's like, yes, Sidious is the bad guy. Yes, you're onto the Jedi Order being corrupted. Yes, you're right. But then it's like his means of that is, okay, I'm gonna take Sidious out with Ahsoka, then I'm gonna take his place, then I will be ruler. And it's just like, oh, you have just lost the plot, sir. But I mean, even going to those flashback scenes, which were impeccable, by the way, but getting to see that and how he was corrupted as a young kid. And I mean, oh my God, when you see Maul kind of resist at the beginning, you see Palpatine electrocute him. And it was just like, for the first time, I felt this pang of I don't want to say agony, but this pang of kind of maybe sorrowness for him, that I was just like, damn, like, I mean, what he was taken as a kid, it's like, you're right. Evil is, as the saying goes, evil is taught. So that's how he was born. That was how he was raised. So, how fair is it for us to judge him and just be like, yep, you're evil. Yep, we're just gonna toss you to the category of just evil and stuff. I don't think he's misunderstood either. Don't get me wrong, but to say he's full evil, I'm just like, man, he's just been corrupted, and that's the world that kind of grew up in. And I mean, having the Dark Lord of Palpatine, it's not like he had Dooku for a master. Ventress was able to escape that kind of bag she was put in, but Maul, I mean, he was raised by the Dark Lord of the Sith, literally, by the father of the dark side. So to say, is there some good in Maul? I think so. I think so. I think there's not a lot of it for sure. And you probably need a magnifying glass, but I think there is some good there. And I love the way it comes out when he talks about his brother. And I mean, in Rebels, I actually just rewatched that Twilight of the Apprentice. I think I watched like the first episode, and then I was like, wait, let me go watch something else. But just seeing that conversation Maul has with Ezra, where he was like, the Sith murdered my brother, like took me from my mother, ripped me from my mother's arms, murdered my brother, and cast me aside, forgot about me. And I'm just like, you almost feel so sorry for him. You're just like, damn, dude, like that sounds like a tragic story, right? But it's like, then you learn about and remember about his choices that he's made. And it's like, oh man, brother, you are lost. So yeah, I mean, yeah, to answer your question, I definitely think there's some good in him. Not a lot of it, but you're gonna have to pull a magnifying glass.